So welcome one and all to this complete QA training from QA testing training. So our plan is to make a person well efficient so that he can apply for the job immediately. So what we are going to do? We designed a course called Complete QA, whatever you signed up. So first of all, we take baby steps. Like first of all, we go with QA manual, then we'll go and also we'll learn some testing tools. Even in manual testing, we have some certain tools for test management, bug tracking, right? So we'll also learn those tools. Then we'll go for quality center, which is a mandatory tool for each and every tester because we write test cases over quality center. Okay. Then we'll go for automation tool. We'll have so many automation tools, but for a fresher, the good and the best tool to start up with is the QTP. So we'll also teach QTP and then we'll go for a SQL. So if I say testing, yes, we do testing on application, but it involves so many things while you test on application. So what all necessary for a person to apply for a job and to be in a good position with respect to other colleagues at workplace. So we teach all the things like office IT terminology, not only the concepts, but also you need to know your responsibilities, terminology, whatever it is there at an office. Okay. So we teach completely, we make you perfect, and then we'll also give some resume training, how to prepare a resume, how to do it should be unique. So if you search on the internet, you'll get so many projects. So we should not just keep all the projects. There are some tips to design the resume also. So we'll also discuss that, and then we'll conduct an interview. Okay. So I'm just saying the plan, how we continue with this course as it is a day one. Okay. So this is how we do. So starting what we do QA manual and quality center. Then we'll go for the automation tools and SQL. So today is the day one. Okay. So you can see the agenda. So basically before coming to QA, you might be wondering, like you may be searching over the net, you may be asking your friends or colleagues, what is a software testing, what is a QA, what are the things involved. So you might be aware of few certain topics like what is a test case or development lifecycle. You might be aware of the few things, right? You may be searching over the internet. So for a time being, let's forget everything. Okay. So we just will concentrate on the topics we involve daily. And also during the sessions, no need of writing any notes. We'll provide you the notes, videos, material, whatever it is there. We'll provide you with that. So during the session, just concentrate on the topics that Rainer taught. Okay? Okay. Before going to session, anyone has any basic doubts regarding this QA or training or the structure or any schedule? If you have any doubts, you can just ping me in chat, or I'll start with the today's session. Okay, fine. So let's see today's agenda. So first of all, we will discuss about quality defect. What are the types of companies we have, and you may be hearing the words like quality assurance, software testing, quality control, and also what is testing, sign in kickoff meeting. So these are the step-by-step procedure. Whatever we design the topics, everything will be in a step-by-step procedure. So at what steps you need to know which topic will exactly teach the same. So first of all, before going to testing, you need to know what is a quality, what is a defect. So what do you do in testing? Testing means you are checking the quality, right? So the basic concept for the software testing is a quality. Okay. Quality, what do you mean by quality? See, not only in terms of IT, even in our daily life also, whatever, if you want to buy any product or if you want to buy any goods or anything, what do? We check for the requirements. So we have some requirements. For example, if I say I'm going to buy a mobile phone, what do I see? Whether it is providing me all the features which we have. So nowadays we are having so much of advanced technology, right? So what do we check? We check for the quality, whether it is giving me correct camera recording, video recording, social networking, okay, internet, good internet, and also video chatting or video calls. So whatever we have the services, every service we check, and then only we go for buying a product. So what are we doing there? We are checking for the quality. There are so many companies who are offering us a mobile phone. So in those things also we need to verify which is providing a good quality. If you take a screen or if you take particular pictures, if you compare with from one phone company to another phone company, they'll differ in the quality. Okay. So whatever is good, what we do, we just purchase that. So quality is nothing but meeting the requirements. Okay. So the basic thing we need to know first of all is quality. So this is the word quality and a defect. These are the words you will be able to listen every day in your office. So you'll be able to hear these words frequently at your workplace. And defect. So what do you mean by a defect? For example, if I say if a product is designed, let's take an application. This is a payroll application. Okay. So here, this application, this is a payroll application, which is used in all the IT companies. So this is the application we are going to use for our training. So our training will be completely practical and real time. It's not a theory class. Okay, we'll just learn the concept and we'll directly apply on the application. Okay. So what is the main goal of this application? It should track an employee time, and then it should generate the payroll. Okay. So that is the main goal of this particular application. So if I am going to enter, for example, don't worry about the functionality. I'll also explain in detail in our coming classes. So for today, I'm just saying what is a defect. For example, so this is my weekday. So today is a 12th. So that is the reason till from Monday to 12th it's open. And tomorrow I can log the work again tomorrow. Or in some companies on Friday, they'll log the report for 5 days. So here, if I'm entering some value, so how do you log a time? It will be only in a numeric values, right? It should not take any alphabets because we don't have any alphabets in time, right? So if it is accepting the time and it is saving that particular thing, see, please correct the errors below while saving your time track. It is showing an error message by saying you should not save any incorrect value. Time should be entered in the format of hours and minutes. You are able to see it on my screen. So it is showing an error message. But instead of error message, if it is accepting the value, then it is a defect. So here what we need to understand, if actual value is not equal to expected value, then we call it as a defect. Okay. Defect is nothing but if actual value is what the application is designed for fun functionality, right? So if that actual value is not equal to expected value, what are we expecting while we are entering a time? It should save, right? So if it is actual value is not equal to some expected value, then it is called a defect. Okay. So our entire software testing depends upon these two, quality and defect. So what I was saying is quality means meeting the requirements, meeting the end user requirements. End user is the person who will use that particular product or an application. That is a quality, and defect means actual value is not equal to expected value. Means that and we can also even say if it is not meeting the requirements as designed the application, then we can also say it as a defect. So quality and defect are the two words which we deal in our daily life as a QA tester. Okay. So this is what about quality and defect. Then coming to next point, so whenever you apply for a job, you'll be able to see some called product-based company and service-based company. Okay. So before going to any topics, we need to know what is a product-based company and what is a service-based company. So product-based company is nothing but a company which owns a product and also having a development company. For example, if you take Verizon. So Verizon is offering us mobile phones and also some particular deals with respect to calling, telecommunication, right? And also the Verizon company is also having its own IT company where they develop their own products, software, code, whatever they have, they develop on their own. So here this company is called a product-based company which has its own IT company and also having a product. So they launch this product and also they develop their own product. Okay. So Verizon is called a product-based company. And if I say some other companies like Infosys or Mahindra Satyam, those are services-based company which offers only services. They don't have any own product. They'll just offer services like development, testing, technical support. So they offer those services. So those are called as a service-based company. Okay, so that is the difference between a product-based company and a service-based company. So if you apply for a job in a product-based company, then it will be good for your career because there will be more chances of extend your contract or it will have a long term. So if you plan of learning QA manual first and then involving in automation, and if you want to have good knowledge on all the tools, then you can apply for a product-based company, which will be a good option for you. And then quality assurance, software testing, and quality control. While applying for a job, you'll also able to hear the words called quality assurance, software testing, and quality control. So you might be wondering what is the difference between quality assurance and software testing. So there is no difference between quality assurance and software testing. So quality assurance and software testing is one and the same. As the name indicates, quality assurance means we are assuring the quality of a product by doing some types of testing, right? So how do we assure? By verifying that particular product before launching it to live, we perform certain types of testing. In which way we are assuring? By doing testing and also submitting the reports. We'll also submit the reports, right? How many test cases passed, how many failed. So in that way, we'll do and we'll launch the particular product. So without doing any testing, we don't launch any product. Okay, before any application coming into live, it's mandatory to verify with the testers. So quality assurance and software testing is nothing but the same. Whereas quality control. So quality control is a different job here again. Okay, so this quality control means throughout software development lifecycle. We'll also see what is a software development lifecycle. So throughout in our IT company, we'll have certain documents called BRD document. BRD documents, user stories. So we can call it with different names, but the context is same. So what are this BRD document and user stories? The company will define the requirements in these particular documents where it will be an input for development team and also for the testing team so that they can development team what they'll do, they'll get the requirements and they'll develop the logic, whereas testers will create the test cases. Later they'll test it, they'll test the application. So here you need to understand we'll have so many documents. We have some test plan documents. Okay. Also we'll have so many meeting documents. Even if you conduct any meeting, whatever, there will be a person who will write all the points and share with the team. Okay. So there are so many types of documents which are involved throughout the development of a project, single project. So quality control is nothing but reviewing all the documents. Okay. There won't be any practical testing. The quality control will have only to test, only to verify these documents whether they are correct or not. Okay, as defined in the meeting or decided by the higher management level, if the particular project is going with respect to documents or not, they'll just verify. So if you write a test cases, for example, if there is a domain, Facebook or particular bank account, so they need to have a security testing. So if they mention security testing is a mandatory one, so quality control person will verify if particular type of security testing is applied or not on that particular application. He don't do any practical testing. He'll just verify the documents. So quality control is bit different from a quality assurance. So understand the difference between quality assurance and quality control. Okay. Next comes to what is testing. Actually, what is a testing? Do you have any idea? Anyone? We say we are testing, we are repeating the word testing, right? So what is your thinking or what is your opinion on testing? So what actually the process? So in testing, what do we do? As I said, we have this BRD document, right? So we see BRD. That is, we know what is an expected actual value, right? In prior. We'll also see who will design this BRD document, who will write the points, everything. So for just understanding the testing process, I'm saying we'll get the knowledge. We see the BRD document. We'll test on an application. Test on application means we'll apply the test cases. So we execute the test cases against the application by seeing that particular requirements, and we report the defects. And after even reporting the defects, the developer will fix that particular bug and he'll give to the QA team again to retest it. So we ensure defect free. So the entire process of testing is nothing but we collect the requirements, we understand the requirements, and we execute the test cases over the application. We report the defects and ensure that the particular product or application is defect free. So the entire process of testing is nothing but these 4 steps. Okay. Also we see in detail during the software testing life cycle. So for now we have to understand what is this particular testing process. Okay. So this is how testing means. So we execute the test cases, we collect the defects, we also retest it by ensuring the product is error free. So that is nothing but a testing process. So how do we do in detail? We'll see in further in coming classes also. Okay. So the next thing is sign in and kickoff meeting. So we know the front end thing, like what when we get a project, team will be divided, roles and responsibilities will be given to a team. So everything we know, but one thing we don't know is how do we get a project to the company. It's all upper management level. We will not involve in those particular scenarios, but to have a knowledge is good one, right? So tomorrow we don't know, we can even go to a manager position also. If you go to a higher position or higher level, we need to have a knowledge on all the topics. So if I say sign in meeting, what is a sign in meeting? For example, there is a client called Facebook. Okay, so if you want to develop a application to launch in the market, assume that there is no such thing called Facebook till now. Okay, so if you want to launch an application, what you'll do, first of all, you need to think if you want to establish his own development team or if you want to go for a third party company. Third party means another service based companies. So we have lot of service based company here in USA, India, right? So we need to verify. First of all, we'll check the background of companies. We have some top companies which are having already experience, right? So we'll check for the companies, some X, Y, and Z. So we'll send that particular companies an invitation for a meeting. So we are launching a new product. We just wanted to check whether if you can provide the service or not. So we'll give that particular client company will send an invitation to services based companies, some X, Y, Z. So all the particular higher level management team from the particular service based companies should go for that particular meeting. So here, who all will be involved? If I say higher management, so there will be some CEO, Chief Executive Officer. He is the main person responsible for all the projects, whether it is a success or a failure, whatever in a company. He is the main head to be contacted for any company. So each company will have their own team defined for such particular meetings to present themselves. A QA team, a development team, and a technical manager. So they'll have some separate teams where each company will send their own teams for particular meeting. So there will be some meeting will be conducted between client and the services based companies. Okay. So all these people, what they'll do, they'll expose their company experience, the time, the team, expertise level of a team, how many projects, how many success, how much budget they'll have. So in how much budget they can complete a project, everything they'll present from their company to the client so that he'll be impressed and he'll give that particular project to the company, right? So here in this meeting, a particular company will be decided, right? So the legal agreement. So if I say a particular Z company is getting that project, there will be some legal agreement between client and the services based company. Okay. So that legal agreement between client and the services based company is called a sign in meeting. That's how a project will be coming to a services based company. Okay. So that is called sign in meeting. Getting a project into a company is called a sign in meeting. Okay. So this is how we get a project to the company. And the next thing is called a kickoff meeting. So, okay, we got a project. Now we need to in company. So let's say this is a Z company. So in this company again, before starting a project, we need to know how to start, what is a team, everything we have to decide, right? So in this particular company, there will be a first meeting. So after project coming into this company, this is the first meeting, right? In that particular third party company. So let's suppose we are the development company who are offering this particular development testing or administration or something to that client company. Let's think we are the QA team for this particular Z company. So the first meeting we are conducting between our there will be some 25 to 30 team. Everyone will not be involved in this meeting. So the team leads, if I say QA team, there will be some head, development team head, administration team head, also some project managers in the company. So if I say again Z company, there will have so many teams. Okay, not only a single team, there will have some 10 to 20 teams. They need to also see which team has much experience. Okay, depending upon application, if the application needs to be designed with a Java or .NET, so depending upon the technology, depending upon experience, they need to again verify which, for suppose Facebook is nothing but a social networking. If this company or a particular team members are having prior experience in designing an social networking application, it will be a good one. It will be easy to complete the task on time, right? So they'll check everything before submitting, before assigning a team. Okay. So the first meeting which will be conducted inside the Z company, okay, between all the teams, representative. There will be a representative from each team to decide to assign that project to a company. So the first meeting is nothing but called as a kickoff meeting. Okay. So first meeting conducted after project comes into that particular company is called as a kickoff meeting. And sign-in meeting is nothing but a where it's a legal agreement between a client company and a service-based company to getting a project. So this is a difference between sign-in and a kickoff meeting. So until now, we now know the process. So what is the terminology? Mostly we involve quality and defect. So we now know the difference between product-based company and service-based company. And also we know what is the difference between software testing, quality assurance, and quality control, right? Also, what is testing? What is at a brief? We know what is a testing, and also how do we get a project. Now, our main thing is to know a software development life cycle. At this point, anyone is having any questions? If anyone has any question, please ping me in chat. Okay. So quality assurance, software testing, quality control. So the testing, you understood the definition between testing, right? So what I was trying to say is, if you are applying for a job, you will be able to see it's a quality assurance position, QA position, or software testing position, or quality control. So you need to know the difference. What is the terminology means before applying to the job. So if you say quality assurance or software testing, it is the same. Okay. We are doing a practical testing here. We are applying some particular types of testing, writing test cases, creating test plan, reporting defects, whatever we do in a practical way. Okay. In software testing or quality assurance. But whereas quality control, there is only a review of documents. They don't do any practical testing. They only review the documents, whether everything is going. See, if I say we are conducting certain meetings, we'll discuss, we need to do in this way for this project. So this quality control person, what he'll do, he'll check whether we are doing according to the documents. Okay, so he doesn't do any practical thing. He just verify the things. He's controlling the quality. That's the reason he will be called as a quality control person. So don't apply. I mean, just think over before applying the job. Quality control is way different from the software testing. So you need to know the difference between quality assurance or software testing and quality control. Okay, you understood now? Quality control means they don't do anything. They just verify the documents. Understood? Okay. So now we'll go into the software development life cycle. As I said, this is a payroll application, right? So this is our project for time being. Okay, whatever we discuss, we do with respect to this payroll application. This is a very good application because we'll be involved in all types of testing or all types of functionalities in this application. So I'll also give this particular URL to you. You can also download this application by today. I'll send you through email. So software development lifecycle is nothing but entire cycle right from getting a project, starting a project until we deliver it successfully. That is called as a software development life cycle. So let's discuss what is a software development life cycle. So in general, if you say we are developing a project, what do? If you are going to start a house construction means what do we do? First of all, if you, for example, I'm just comparing our daily life to the software testing so that it will be easy for you to understand. Okay, don't get confused. I'm just referring or comparing. So if you want to construct a own house, what you will do? First of all, you'll design, you'll gather the requirements, or you'll have your own requirements. So depending upon your family size, you'll decide number of rooms, right? Garden, you need to have a garden, garage, a lawn, and so on. A game room, entertainment room. In this way, you'll collect the requirements from each and every family members, right? So after that only, you'll go for a best retailer or construction company. Okay, so you'll go for best retailer and then you'll ask them to construct a house for you. So what he'll do? He will give you a blueprint or a plan. Okay, the plan which will indicate the entire structure of your house. So once you see that plan, after accepting that, he'll start constructing. Okay, he'll start constructing the particular house. So in between, you may be deciding, I need to have a duplex home. You can even say, right? He'll start designing, and then what he'll do, he'll also take that particular requirements and then he'll modify, or whatever the requirements you give, he'll modify and he will design, he will construct accordingly. So in this way, we are having some particular steps here. In the same way, if you take a software development life cycle, if you say a project, first we need to know requirements of an end user. Okay, so if I say active time, it's a payroll application. So payroll application is mainly used by IT companies for their employee tracking. They'll track the time and they'll generate the payroll for number of hours they work on a project, right? So we need to collect the requirements. So what do they need to know? They have to track time correctly. They need to generate reports. They need to have some defined leaves or holidays, we can say. They need to send some reminder on each Friday for filling that particular payroll time, whatever they work the time. Okay, so in this way, different company will have different requirements. See, the leaves or the holidays will be different for every country or each and every company also. So each company will have some different type of requirements, right? So first of all, the first phase of software development lifecycle is nothing but collecting the requirement. Okay. I'll also say what are the different teams involved in an IT project. So we'll have different teams called business analyst, architects, dev team, QA team, administration team, technical support team, DBA team. So in this way we have different types of teams involved in a project. Okay, for bringing an application into life, we need servers, we need security, we also need a database to store, we need testing team to test, we need development team to develop an application by writing some programming language. Okay, business analyst team are the people who will involve in collecting the requirements from the end users. So here the end user, who will be the end user? The IT companies will be the end users here. Okay. So in the first phase in the software development lifecycle is nothing but a requirements phase. So they need to collect the requirements before going to develop an application. So they'll go step by step process. So the first phase will be the requirements, collecting the requirements for developing an application. Then only they'll start the next step, analysis. So the second stage will be the analysis phase. So in this analysis phase, what they'll do, they'll analyze the existing technology with that particular company. They'll also see the behavior. So if I say, if we take any application, nowadays we'll able to see connect with Facebook or connect with LinkedIn, right? So day by day, without even signing up on an application, if we have an account in a Facebook or account in LinkedIn or account in a Twitter, that is enough. So instead of having a huge task, if we have some accounts, what they are doing, they are integrating with the application. So it's a very advanced technology. That technology might not support Java, it might not support .NET. So they need to see the behavior of a project. So whatever they have a project, they need to see the behavior of a project and decide which technology to be used. Or even, so now before we don't have anything called mobile banking. Nowadays we have mobile banking. Even if you go to some restaurants, they'll just bring in mobile device, and if you give some card, they'll swipe the card from their mobile and the bill will be paid. So in this way, we need to see if I say I need a payroll application. In future, a particular client company may need more advanced technology. So we need to decide, we need to analyze the particular existing technology, behavior of the project, and team also, team expertise. So whatever we have the team, we need to see what is the existing technology with our current team, whether we need a more team. Right? So we need to analyze. And also if a client is giving his project, he'll have some particular goal or particular points. He'll say, I need to develop an application which will do a social networking for particular people to create their own groups, create their business pages. In this way, he'll say, but end user might not need everything. Different people will have different goals to use a Facebook application. So some person may use it for only networking. Some person may use for a business advertising. So it's a single application, but each individual is looking that application in a different way. So to meet all the users, at the end, our application should be used by a number of persons, right? So there will be a gap between client requirements and end user. So here the business analyst will do the gap analysis between the existing requirements and the end user requirements. So these business analyst people will interact with the end users, who are the people using that application. They'll interact with that directly. So here then in the analysis field, what they'll do, so before starting with the coding or designing, they need to know first of all what is the existing team, what is the existing technology, what should be applied for a particular application. So they'll finalize everything in this particular phase and will design a BRD document. BRD is nothing but business requirement document. What all the requirements will be mentioned in the particular document. Okay. So by taking this particular document, then only they'll start. It will act as an input for all the phases. Like development team, they need to know if they want a payroll application, they need to know how many days of a week. Some companies will have 6 days a week. Some companies will have 5 days a week, right? So in this way, he need to know what is it. You need to know even for logging in or for registering in that particular application, whether you need to have email ID or date of birth. Is there any age restriction? So for everything you need to know. So each and every small point, whatever we have on this application over here, whatever we are able to see on an application, everything, even this particular names, whatever the images are able to see. So all these particular things will be mentioned in a BRD document. Okay. Different companies will call it as a different way. We can also call as FRS, functional requirement specification, or some companies will call as user story. Okay. So if you go for a company, they may call it as a different name. But understand the context of a name. BRD is nothing but it will have all the requirements detailed, all the finalized expertise or whatever it is there. So the BRD document will have each and every single point of an application. If here our application is a payroll application. So whatever we have, we are able to see an application, everything will be mentioned. Suppose if I say there is a particular team which will be dedicated to this particular application, there is no mandatory that a person will stay 5 years on that project in the same company. He may change to another company. So if for newcomers or for even client or for other teams also, they need to have some reference document. So BRT is the document. Even if you go to a company, as soon as you get a job, they'll give you a BRD document to understand the behavior or functionality of your application. Okay, so this is a main important document. We need to, as a tester, also it is very important us to understand the BRD document in a very good way. So if I say in BRD document, the user should be mentioning his name. Single name will have, so many persons will also have same name, right? So we need to even accept in that field with numeric. If I say some Sam, if there are two people with the same name, so he can even register with Sam 1, 2, 3 for Sam, right? So in this way, in the BRD document, each and every small functionality will be mentioned. Okay. And the next phase will be design. So if you compare with the house construction, it will be the same. First of all, we are taking the requirements, we are analyzing it, we are designing, then we are applying. Here we are constructing, here we are creating the test cases, and we are executing. Okay. It's the same process if you even see in a daily life or even if you take a project. Design. In design phase, we have high level design and low level design. So what do you mean by a design? See, in a particular application, you'll have some on-site team, offshore team. So you'll have different types of servers. For example, if this is an application, okay, so this is your on-site, this is your offshore. You'll have testing servers separately, you'll have live server separately. Whatever a testing person or a development person does, they'll be in a sample servers. Those will not be replicated in a live servers. They don't do anything. So they'll deploy whatever they have in a test server. After testing it, they'll deploy into the live server. We'll also learn that in detail. So for now, understand what do you mean by design. So they need to design which server will have which module. Even in an application, you'll have different modules. For suppose this is a time sheets. This is a report generation. Here we'll create some task or some project or we'll have different teams. So if I say Z company is using this particular payroll application, it will have different teams. So it should display number of teams, number of projects. It should even show in the dashboard some reports. Okay. So each module will have. So they need to have this flow. Which page will come after which. They need to have some module wise and also the servers. So they'll go and store in a database, or they'll for this particular bringing this application live, they'll have some servers. Okay. So the servers are nothing but it will act as a container which will bring the application. Example, if you want to store a water, you'll use some glass or water, right? In the same way, these particular servers acts like a container to bring this application up. Okay. So they need to know the flow. example I show. Here I am saying time track will be my first module. If I open here this particular time track, again I am able to see this particular customer, time and everything. If I click on the previous week, I need to see the previous week. If I click on my previous month, it should show my previous month time. So I need to have a flow. I need to have a calendar. I need to have my project name. Everything is a design. Each and everything will be designed. So after designing only, a particular development team will understand to develop a code, right? For example, if I say we have to register in a particular phase code, what would be the steps? He'll register, he'll get a confirmation or activation link to the email. After clicking that link, he'll be able to navigate it to the dashboard, where first of all he need to change his password or fill in a few details, and then he'll get a dashboard, right? Then he'll get a home page. So there is some flow in completing all these particular functionalities. There is a design flow. So to understand all this, they need to have a design. So designing it in a high level, like server level, application level, it is called high level design document. And in low level design document, we'll have each page design also, the navigation or a workflow of an application that will be designed in this particular design phase, high level design or a low level design. Okay. So here what did we learn? This business analyst team will do requirements. Architects will do design. Okay. Again, the business team will only do, analyst team will only do the analysis. Okay. Next comes the design phase. So now we have everything. We have a particular technology finalized. We have the document or logic, whatever we have flow, workflow. So now the developers will start coding, right? So they need to create logic, business logic, we can say. For suppose they need to create program for user registration, right? So here by taking this particular, see for example, if whatever you fill the details in an user registration form, it will be going into database and then it will show you successfully created. Even if you log into the Gmail with your email ID and password, it will authenticate to your inbox. It will not show another inbox. If whatever the details you provided, it will show your account. So in the database, they need to have a database connection between application, code, right? And also whatever you see the UI. So they need to develop the programs by taking this particular design into consideration. Okay. So in this coding part, again, we need to take care of coding standards. So each and every coding language will have certain standards. They need to use lowercase letters, or they need to give some, if I say I'm writing a program over here, I can even say this program is meant for, they'll have some hundreds of pages with programs, right? So if we say this program is meant for home page module, so the next person, if there is any defect or arise, if there is a new person, if each and every program, if they mention in this way, he will directly go to that particular program and he'll modify the code accordingly and he'll fix that issue. So there will have some coding standards defined by either it may be in universal or it may be a company defined. So depending upon that standards, they'll develop a code. Okay. Which team will be involving in this particular thing? Dev team. So dev team will do the coding. Okay. Next. So now what is the next phase after developing an application? So here, if you see, each and every phase will have some output. In requirements and analysis, we'll get the output as BRD, and in design, we'll get HLD and LLD document. In coding, what would be the output? So if we develop an application, that will be might be a desktop application or an internet application. So it will be either in format of .exe or .dmg or a URL application. So this will be the output from a coding. So here each and every output will be the input to the next phase here. So after giving this particular sample application, we need to test it. So next comes to our main role, testing. Okay. So this is the entire cycle how a project will be developed. We are not seeing the different phases involved in it. Okay. Just understand the intent, how a particular step-by-step procedure is involved in developing a project. So in testing, what do? We'll take that particular sample application or sample URL which will be developed in previous phase and we'll test it. So in event testing, there is cycle, software testing life cycle. So the complete process will be involved in this testing. What do? We do test planning. We do test design. Test design is nothing but creating a test cases by using some design techniques. We'll also discuss that in detail. Then we'll do test execution. Then we'll go for defect reporting and retesting it. After fixing that issue, we'll fix that particular bug. So the software testing life cycle is nothing but this is the entire life cycle for a software testing. Okay. So the fifth phase of development life cycle is nothing but a software testing life cycle. We'll discuss this in detail in tomorrow's class, but for now just understand the different responsibilities involved in a software testing life cycle. Okay. So this is the fifth phase. What do? We test this application. After testing, the next thing will be deployment. So we need to deploy this particular application, whatever we developed, into live, right? So we need to deploy in client systems. Now we need to see which team will be involved. The QA team will be involved in this particular testing, and the technical team will be involved in taking the tickets, like if the end user is facing any issues after deploying. After deploying, there will be some maintenance also in each company. If you work in a company, you'll understand what do you mean by maintenance. Maintenance is nothing but what do? Whatever we tested in our particular, whatever we develop and test, we'll just deploy into the live server, and the various teams, each team member will be there during the maintenance time, so that if there is any sudden DBA issue or server issue, or if something is not tested properly, so each team member will be there during the maintenance mode. So see here, all the team members are involved in each particular phase. So now you understood what are the different responsibilities of each team member and how they do in this particular software development life cycle. This is what a software development life cycle. Okay. So did you understood what is this entire development life cycle? Are you having any doubt? Anyone?